Hey, what's up y'all? So welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a CCV Reroute kit getting installed in my 2019 F-250. So I got a fan up here cooling it down, been driving it all morning. Alright, so here's the CCV Reroute kit. I actually added the internal catch can, right? So I think it's about a $150 upgrade. I think it's billet aluminum. High quality stuff. Feels like it, looks like it. It's from SPE, so I know there's some other replica systems out there. I'm sure they get the job done still, but I like quality over quantity. Here are the materials. I have a 3/8 drive ratchet, and then I have a 1/4 inch ratchet. I have some extensions, sockets, various size sockets, and I'll show you which specific sizes as we get into the engine bay. All right, and that is for the hose. High quality hose. So been wanting to do this for quite some time. Just came back from the dealership. I wanted to ask them personally because well, long story short, I talked to the service department probably for about 30 minutes, and during the course of the 30 minutes it seemed like he totally tuned out the sound of the phone, so all the phone calls came through and we just kept chit-chatting. So yeah, if the dealership's not answering you, it's just best to go in person, go talk with that service rep, and then ask your questions. But for me, my question was, because I have the upper oil pan leaking, and I think I probably have a rear main seal small leak that I want to get done under warranty. He mentioned just don't remove the EGR. That kind of complicates things when it comes to warranty work. But there won't be any issues if I did the CCV Reroute kit. So I'm good on that. I'm going to go ahead and get that done here today. I'm going to hold off on the EGR delete with those block off plates until I get my upper oil pan gasket fixed. Get that done through warranty and probably the rear main seal, because they're gonna have to remove the transmission anyways. Two birds, one stone. They said they shouldn't have any issues. But yeah, so this video is about the CCV Reroute. So let's get straight into it. All right guys, so it comes with some instructions. 1, 2, 3, and a 4th page. All right, so one thing I wanted to talk about is why the CCV Reroute. So here are the benefits, and I'll read them off fairly quickly. Vents, crankcase, blow by, decreasing oil deposits in the engine. You won't have to worry about all the oil going through your intake and intercooler, although I don't think there's any damage done to it, but it's just a cleaner process. No boot soak, intake gumming, increases the longevity of parts. Yeah, a lot of this is fluff. Let me see which one is a little more important. Okay, so that's what's important to me right here. Is 3rd bullet, frees up room for more activities under the hood, and I like how they mentioned that, because that caters to my needs with like how I want the engine bay to look a little less cluttered. No oil loss, blah blah blah. Okay, so as the oil in the truck heats up, condensation occurs. The OEM crankcase vent system, or CCV, allows the gas to escape. However, due to stricter emission standards, the gases are now recirculated into a closed system, introducing them back into the intake system. All right, so instead of doing that, you're gonna have to, it's gonna leak outside along the frame. So that's where this long hose comes into play. This will help because it'll remove some of those gases and keep more of the oil within the system instead of leaking out. All right, so we're up underneath the truck. First step's gonna be, well, they tell you, go ahead and loosen that up. This hot side charger cooler pipe. All right, but I'm gonna try my best not to do that. So I did, this was routed underneath, and this is where it was connected to. You're gonna see it right there. All right, so I just moved this little plastic boot, a rubber boot, back, and then you see this, it tells you just to turn counterclockwise and pull out. I squeezed a flathead through here and then turned counterclockwise, and it came out. You're gonna fight it for maybe a few minutes, but yeah, that's all it was. I'm gonna unplug these fuel lines, and I'm gonna start getting after these bolts. So I know there's one right there in that section. There's one peeking at us right there, so you can see there, and then towards the back, hopefully it, and there's one, as you can see in the middle of the screen, poking out. And then off to the right, you can barely see it, but it's right there. So what I'm gonna have to end up using is just some extensions and a U-joint and get back up underneath there. All right, so I have that one off, that bolt, and then I have that bolt off. Those front two. I also have the back easiest one right over there. I'm going to show you my setup with how I remove them. So the front two, pretty simple, 1/4-inch drive ratchet, 3-inch extension, 10mm socket. I think for the one that's a little lower, I use the 6-inch extension. So that's how I remove those two front bolts. All right, so for the back one, and probably for the back two, just because I ran out of extensions, so I have a 6-inch here, an adapter, another 6-inch, another 6-inch, a U-joint to the 10mm socket. So, all right, so here's my 22-inch pretty much extension. Let me see if I can get it back underneath there. So I'm right on top of that bolt with my setup, which is perfect. All right, guys, so I'm about 20 minutes into the project. I got those two bolts out. Pretty simple process so far. I say so myself. Okay, there's nothing attached to the box. Nope. All right, a little nasty getting that out. Check that out. All right, leaked a little bit of oil, but that sucker's out. All right, so here's the CCV box. What I'm gonna do is, this Dremel tool always comes in handy. Tear up the top and see what this thing looks like on the inside. All right, Dremel battery's out, so let's go ahead and continue. All right, next step, we're gonna have supplied hardware. Here's the shorter one of the two with a washer. All right, and this is gonna go right above. Let's go ahead and go plant this on the valve cover. This looks like it's set up. I think they gave me 2 sets of hardware. This is a size 5 Allen bolt socket, so 6-inch extension. All right, guys, so I went ahead, tightened that up, gave it a 2-finger pull. Come on, focus, there it is. Now towards the back, this internal catch can, that cheese grater portion is going to be facing towards the rear of the truck. All right, I put the gasket underneath. All right, so for this one also requires a gasket. Make sure that keep calling it a gasket. Anyways, that's an O-ring. All right, washer, bolt. All right, so this is going to sit right on top. All right, so what I had to do was install your catch can or that base plate first. Well, I guess if you do have an internal catch can, connect the hose after you have that plate already tightened instead of it still on, because it just makes it a mess. So go ahead, mount that base plate on top of the catch can, and then attach the hose, securing it with that clamp. All right, so everything's all tidied up. Fuel filter lines are back installed. I did put that rubber sock over that part and use a zip tie. So the only thing that's left is let's go underneath the truck, figure out where we're gonna route our hose. All right, ouch. Okay, so routed it through there, which ends up behind and over the brake booster. Send it down through here. My plan is I'm gonna get more hose and probably run it all the way through the back. So where I'm gonna go ahead and plant it is probably right here. So I'm just gonna zip tie it, have it just chill right here. But I do want to get longer hose, connect it, and just route it to the back, probably over towards the exhaust, if not just towards the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie this right. All right, so I finished this. Let's see. Yeah, let's see how it looks. I always wondered about this. Now we all know what the ones with the bolts on top look like, but not sure what these look like. So it looks like there's another. It looks like a bunch of BS in there, dirty. Again, it's nothing but plastic. But let's see if this moves or if anything pops out. All right, so I tried messing around with this. It moves around a little bit. Thought it was gonna look a little more juicy. Anyways, doesn't look like the other filter, that's for sure. Use a couple zip ties, secured that underneath. I think you can see that. Yep, you see that right there. All right, that's oil. All right, that's what happens. I should have put a oil spill mat underneath. As a reminder, we removed the fuel lines. We lost that fuel pressure, so we're gonna have to go ahead and prime the system. I'm gonna probably do that, since we're doing this filter, 5, 6, 7 times, priming it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start it and see if there's any leaks of any sort. That little mist. Feel it. Anyways, because of that mist, it's probably best that I route it back towards the frame, or alongside the frame, and then alongside the exhaust tip, or just probably towards the back. I don't notice anything too crazy about the smell though, but I'm sure time will tell. All right guys, so I finished up the project. It's back over there. No fuel leaks, none of that. Everything looks clean, everything looks good. I'm comfortable with it, so time to clean up the engine bay after all of my sweat got over it. But honestly, I think from start to finish, I was probably done within an hour and a half, and that was with videotaping as well. So fairly quick process. I am gonna extend that hose out towards the back of the truck, but I am wary about, you know, a new smell, as well as a small, I guess a soft glaze and smoke that comes out of that hose. Either way, I'm all good for it. I think the hose, the kit was about 170, and then the internal catch can added was about another 150. We'll see the differences here soon. Yeah, I'll come back with another review, but honestly, this was a very simple job. You will get scratched up a bit, probably have some bruises tomorrow, but other than that, you know, it's not difficult at all. All right guys, but until next time, see y'all.